Hello and a warm welcome back to episode 44 of the When Dirtcast, your podcast that discusses all the latest MFL updates, transfers, developments, and so much more. As always, we're your hosts, Calvinator and Jimbo. And before we get straight into things, one important note, we always have to say it. None of what we chat about is financial advice. Certainly not. Do your own scouting or hire a director of Metaverse Football. It's been a number of weeks now. I think it's 5 weeks since we last had a guest on the podcast. Calvinator, who have we got on for this episode?
Yeah, I'm very excited. We have another guest. Of course, we had an episode where we featured some clips of multiple people, but not someone present in the studio to join us for all the updates.
Yep.
So I'm very happy we have a guest again. Probably when you're on Twitter, most of us are on Twitter, you've seen loads of his beautiful artwork, pictures, loads of club updates from his teams, and also very active in the community. So please, a warm welcome to the show, Tingus Pingus. How are you?
Welcome.
Yo, guys, I'm very good. How are you?
We're all good, mate. Thank you for coming on the podcast. We're excited to have you on here.
Well, yes. First of all, I want to thank everybody using combustion engines and helping fix our climate here in Latvia. So we had good weather today. Finally.
Good weather in Latvia. Great.
Well, it's like 25 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, we've had nice
sunny,
weather here.
I'm gonna
well.
cook some barbecue later on, and I'm barbecuing chicken today.
Ooh, very nice. That's what you need on a Saturday when it's good weather. Some barbecue.
That's good.
Yes. So first we record a pod. So yeah, for everyone listening, normally we record Sunday evening, and now Sunday morning. So we have a whole weekend ahead of us.
Saturday
morning.
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
Yeah. So normally we finish the weekend with recording a pod, and now we're kind of starting the weekend with recording a pod. So that's a bit different. And I think before we dive straight into the updates, we should talk about the stream we had. And I would say it was a pretty eventful stream. So what happened, Jimbo? How would you summarize this?
Madness, just absolute madness of a stream. We also had the quiz created by yourself, which was brilliant, and then we had the drops. And usually we'll get a couple of people come on to the Discord or so, and we can show the community opening their packs. And we had about 5-6 people come on, and there was just legendary upgrade after legendary pull after rare upgrade after just upgrade, and it was just unreal to see. I think we had 2 legendary upgrades, one from a rare pack and one from a standard pack, which is like 2.5%, and then I think there was a 0.1% in there as well, which I think is
very low
crazy odds. I think we had 5 legendaries being shown on stream, being opened by the community, and it was just crazy. And then we did our ones at the end. I got very lucky to get
a rare upgrade.
I got a rare upgrade from a kickoff pack, which we thought all of the luck was gone because the whole community had taken it. So yeah, it was a unreal stream. And on our socials, on our Twitter, I've dropped a little thread of all of the highlights of all the upgrades, all the legendary pulls that were opened in the stream.
Yeah, so you can check that out if you want a little recap.
Yeah.
Tingus, did you buy anything? Did you open some pack?
Yeah, I actually got a center pack with 2 commons inside and a great uncommon midfielder. Nice. 75 overall, I think. But I was lucky in a way that I was looking for one, actually. So it was kind of, I improved myself from a pack. That's great. So, but, these packs are very, very good right now. So in terms of investing your MFL and then, I don't know, probably selling it.
Yeah, the single player packs, 100%. Not awesome. Financial advice, but they are a good they are a good buy.
But that is financial advice,
No, it's not. No, it's not. We can't. It's not.
Let me tell you, this is just math. I heard this from your podcast before. That in a cup you get more MFL than in a league. I actually jumped on getting top 16 in a cup, and how much I earned, just guess, 35,000 MFL in a cup. But why? Because I bought a pack and then sold it immediately. The guys I got in there. So it is not real MFL winnings, not real Fiat winnings, but this is MFL winnings after all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not financial advice. Not
Well,
financial
yeah,
advice.
we always claim this, but technically you can take it as financial advice, but we don't say no.
Don't take it as financial advice because I want this finance to own it. Don't go there. Don't click up.
Yes, well, way more about this later, of course, about your strategy and about your tactics and your approach. It's already a great intro. And maybe we can talk now. Also, we'll extend this a bit about our personal journeys to start the weekly updates. So there has been no matches, although we all played one match with our national teams. So maybe we can briefly discuss those matches. I
Mate,
think
honestly,
we all didn't do very well in Group Game 3.
No, like I just thought, no disrespect to Slovenia and MFL, but I thought we'd absolutely hammer them. And within like the first 5 minutes, we conceded a penalty, and I just went, "Oh my god! Like this engine just hates me. It just hates me. It honestly just hates me." We ended up drawing 1-1, so at least we got a point. We got a point, but it was the most turgid performance from a nation, the most underwhelming and underperforming nation, I think, hands down, with an MFL, and it was all down to me. So big apologies to everyone who backed England. You'll get a little payout, a fifth of what you invested, I think, is what it turns out to be, which is shocking. Even just a win would have turned it round slightly, which I thought we'd get a win in that group, but the engine
stats wise, I looked at the stats. I think you were supposed to kind of.
I think I did
comfortably, right?
I did a little like XG note on my phone, and can I bring it up? I've got it on my other phone, but it was something like England scored. We scored 5 goals. Oh, was it 5 goals? Hang on, I've got it on my phone. Give me 1 second. Because I saw okay, from the XG philosophy on Twitter that they did when Croatia got knocked out. They said what Croatia's XG was, how many they scored, and how many goals their opponents scored, and how much XG they got. And I was like, I'm interested to do this for my
England side.
For MFL. So England, we scored 5 goals from an expected XG of 6.63. Our opponent's XG in 3 games was 7.02, and we conceded 12 goals.
Oh.
So in terms of XG, I think we're just really unlucky. I hate to say it, and I'm not making excuses. I think we were just really unlucky.
Well, but that's a short tournament, So
and that's when
everyone can get unlucky, and everyone can get lucky too. Like
exactly, it's an engine. It's maths. It's algorithms. You can have a day where it's just not. It's not going for you. But yeah, that was how it went. It's a very poor performance. It's nice to have a stint as England manager, albeit for 3 games. Probably one of the shortest tenancies of an England manager in history, and I'm not proud of that. Maybe I'll do a Ronald Koeman and I'll come back in like 10 years' time or so and manage England again, but we'll see. We'll see.
What about Czech Republic?
All right. It could have been easier for us, but before the last game versus Turkey, we got to have a result. We had to go for at least draw, and we had a plan to cover the midfield because Turkey is not very good on wings. So, but it didn't go well enough. We conceded 5 goals. The plan the defensive plan was not working. But that's again is lucky, unlucky, and so on. But in terms of return of investment on Czechia, it's probably 15% in such a short time. It's a great result. So I'm getting around, I don't know, 200,000 MFL to spend on something. I don't know what it's going to be. I got 41% of the Czechia team.
Oh, okay. So you got like a massive share in it.
Yeah. I was going to buy more, but eventually I got scared away from it. It's not a big team. It's like only like 3-4 Legos down there.
Yeah.
And when it comes to, we could have gotten the MFL player, but it was like 73 overall. So no use for us.
No.
But then it was great experience, like to lead a national team. Come on.
It was good. It was good.
It was really
I liked
amazing.
it.
Yeah. Well, I'm still in there.
I think we'll come to you. I think we do all get like little trophies for managing. I think I asked Yax a couple of weeks ago. It might be after the tournament though. I think we do get like on our profile like manager of so and so for the tournament. I think.
Okay, like a little history.
Yeah, Poland though still in it though, right? So
yeah, we are still in there. Although we finished the group stage with a loss of 1-0 against France.
So did you go through the third place?
Yeah, we were like one of the best third places.
Yeah.
With 4 points, but it was pretty similar. Like all 3 matches, it was all competitive. It was like about the same kind of shots on target, similar XGs. And yeah, with like being lucky, unlucky, one time the coin flipped our way, one time it was a draw. And against France, they were slightly better and they won.
Yeah.
So we're not going to the next round. We're playing Denmark, Ronin's Denmark, who won all 3 games.
Yeah.
So I think we are pretty much the underdog.
Very good
we are
side.
Denmark is strong.
Yeah, they are very strong.
Yeah.
But we'll come up with some plan, and hopefully in the next spot I can say we did a little upset there and we beat them. We have a very good striker. We have very good couple of midfielders, defenders. So we're certainly not like that weak of a side. But yeah, Denmark seems to have a very good tactic that works for them, and that crazy goalie who is like 96.
Yeah,
with
96. Yeah, 94 with captaincy, 96.
With captaincy 96,
and then I think the back 3 is like 91 or 92, 90, 89, and they're all like 6'2", 85 pace, 90 plus defending, and you go, well, we ain't getting past that, are we? So
yeah, so hopefully Maciejewski, our superstar, can.
But about that too, have you been guys? You've been scouting probably the players on the Euros. Like
a little
have
bit,
you spotted something that you would like to get? Maybe someone.
not for me, not for me, not for me, not for me and my Iron Club, mate, not for my rivals. No. Unless I can, unless someone feels a bit generous.
Slovenian right middle, so as someone at least I could have put my hands on, and then my assistant manager who worked with Czechia, like Palmer, he got our central back, so we're kind of trying to use it as a scouting sort of thing too.
Okay, great. Yeah, but overall, it's a really great experience. Well, all 3 of us to be nation manager, and hopefully we all have more tournaments like this. And maybe Jimbo, you'll get picked up by another country, and then you beat England.
I'll get picked up.
And you show that you're a good manager.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
It's revenge.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
I was just unlucky. Yeah.
Hopefully it will be a recurring thing for like World Cup in the States in 26. That would be amazing. Okay, let me do the dev updates. Quite a lot has happened in terms of development because, of course, we got a new engine. So version 2.5.1 and then 4.3.2. So let's say 2.5. So this version has been deployed right now. There's been some general rebalancing. So tactics a bit different, formations, player attributes. The impact has been changed a little bit. Also energy impact. We've been talking about this before, that sometimes you were losing against this heavily fatigued side. That should be better now. There's a bigger impact of energy on the game. So especially if the player's energy is not in a green level anymore. So that is maybe a nice hint for you. So when it's not green, it will really impact it in a bigger way. XG has been recalibrated, so it should be reflecting shot quality a bit more accurately, should be a bit more realistic. Sprint feature, so players can sprint now in the simulation, so enabling more effective runs when
no
going
more
for the
walking
ball.
football. No more walking football.
No more walking, exactly. Also, defense has been enhanced, so improved marking and pressing systems. What's also really cool is you can now click on the engine version and you get some patch notes, also more info, so you know exactly, way more transparency about the engine. We just talked about the Euros. It's also possible for the team to run 2 engine versions like parallel at the same time. So in the Euro, we keep using the old engine, while 0.7, we're going to use a new engine. The team is also still working on that report about last season's engine's behavior, should be published next week. And Quentin will keep working on that sprint feature for future engine updates. Then some other things. Translation. The app is now available in German, Turkish, and Portuguese. So hopefully we'll see a nice influx of users from those areas. Maybe see the community chat in that language lighting up way more. And special thanks to Vogon for helping out with the German translation. Player progression is still going well. The backend has been completed for updating player metadata on chain and also new images if your overall goes up. And some unit tests have been added, and the team is also preparing for UI testing. So that is almost getting ready. Finally, to make the mid-season transfer window happen, some mechanism has been implemented, so you can now, in the middle of the season, sign up to 3 new players. Finally, some other improvements. The player table has been enhanced in your HQ, so you can have a couple more options to view, for example, between contract attributes, and switch between those views. There's a new feature added to disable auto-renewal of contracts for individual players, also improved pole position display after corner kicks in the visualization. And finally, a really cool little thing for the active Twitter users. There's a new shareable image for player of the match after competition matches. So I guess, Tingus, you're gonna use that button a lot, or will you stick with your own creations of player of the match?
Yeah, no, I have to stand out somehow. So that's the problem with this. So
Yes.
I just can't use this auto-generated things. I sometimes do, but this is when I have no energy to, put it into my own creations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk more later about your amazing
But that's awesome. I
creations.
mean, that's so crazy. You can basically click one button and then go share this, and this is cool.
Yes. Jim, will you use it, player of the match? Excited about it, or something else is more exciting for you?
I'll use player of the match. I do sometimes get really good with doing social media posts at the beginning of the season, and then usually I'll go on a holiday or I'll go away for a bit, and then it just falls flat on its face. So to have like a player of the match, I think is really, really great. I'm really excited by the engine updates. See what I've been doing, quite a lot of friendlies for my Wyverns. I'm going to put it out there now for next season. I'm just sticking with one tactic for the whole season and just refusing to change it. And it's quite an extreme tactic. So, and I might make it public. I just want to see people can like actively counter tactics properly.
Could be interesting experiment. Yeah, can you?
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it with both my teams. So what I will do is I've got them all set up, I think, near enough. I'll probably just make it public, put it on Twitter. Right, if you're facing me in the league, these are my tactics. Feel free to
good luck.
Counter it. I'll probably actually get smacked to be bottom of the league now, knowing my luck. But yeah, I'm interested to see what this. I want to see the report as well. I like to get a bit more information, see what they think about what the previous engine looked like. But yeah.
Yeah. Tingus, anything else?
I'm gonna do close to the same thing. I mean, I picked 2 tactics for the next season. For Summer Hearts, and I'm gonna stick to them. But and hopefully nobody sees what I played in the friendlies. So I'm trying to do the stealth mode a little bit because I'm not very, very good at defining the football tactics. But let's see.
Okay, time for the season update. So we just briefly already talked about Euro 2024, which is still going on. I think that's the only competitive metaverse football that has been going on like in the past week and this week. So any predictions for the knockout stages for the round of 16? Maybe we can briefly look at it. I don't know if you have the lineups in front of you, or we can.
I was looking at and there's not really a particular side of the bracket which looks weaker, I don't think. Maybe you could argue. Well, I think Spain have been underperforming, so that Spain Romania will be quite nice, and then maybe they've got quite a nice route. But the Dutch is still a good squad, and you can't count them out. The Germany-Croatia side, you'd expect Germany and Croatia to both go through on those pieces and meet each other in the quarters. The same. Well, I mean, Portugal-Serbia is an interesting matchup. Serbia were good against England. They did lose to Slovenia. So you'd expect Portugal to beat Serbia. You'd expect France to beat Belgium. Both underperformed in
Yeah,
I think Belgium, apart from their last game, I think Belgium won quite heavy. But I think
they had
that,
in one of my quiz questions was who had the biggest goal difference, and Belgium had this +6.
Yeah,
but it will be close. But yeah, that side
and
of the bracket, I agree, it would be Croatia, Germany, Portugal, and France, I guess, or Belgium.
Yeah, I think in that bottom right, the Denmark, Poland, Scotland, Italy, I think that's going to be a really, really nice side of the right-hand side, because that's four really strong teams in there. Like Scotland are like, obviously headed up by Sellers, who's a great manager anyway. They're quite silently good, if that makes sense. Sort of like you don't really think Scotland, all you think of is real life, and then they've actually got quite a nice setup of their players. And the same with Denmark. We've already gone over Denmark, obviously yourself as Poland, and then Italy being the other one there, who are also strong as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty afraid of that matchup, but let's see. It's what we said before. It's also luck is a big factor, especially in cups and like just matchups like this, like for just one game.
Well, here in the entire bracket left, I probably support Belgium slightly, because Sambre Hearts is kind of a Belgian team from Charleroi, and we got a player, Eva Mert, who is an attacking midfielder in Belgium. So yeah,
so you're supporting
my
them.
team right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and hopefully they will go far, and then you also get a little
friends,
bonus from it. Right?
Friends,
yeah,
it's tough.
It's tough. Yeah. Well, and it's also a country with like loads of shareholders.
Oh yeah.
And also Germany and France are both in the same side of the bracket, so they won't be it won't be a final. We can let's speculate a little bit about the final already. What do you think from the two sides could be in the final? Any prediction?
Germany, Denmark.
Germany, Denmark. Might well be.
Portugal and Denmark, probably.
Portugal and Denmark, okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think semi-final can be Germany, Portugal, and then the other side, I think Netherlands, Denmark. Although I should give myself more credit, maybe. But I like the underdog role. I like the underdog.
Denmark should win this.
Yes. So I say Germany, Portugal, Netherlands, Denmark, and then I think Netherlands, Germany final. It would be interesting. Yeah. That's my prediction, but let's see. It's cool. Very exciting, and I think when we are recording this Saturday morning, and tonight there will be already the two first matches. So of course now the IRL and MFL tournaments are not in sync anymore. So we do have Germany playing, but in real life Germany is playing Denmark, I think, right? Am I correct?
Denmark.
Yeah, and here they're playing, of course, Slovenia. So it's a bit different now than IRL. So you have to look out who's playing. Okay, marketplace, time for that. I did find some new managers again. I think about 10. So let's give them a little shout out. J. Mendes, Squeak, Nacho Martinez, Mr. Dak, SY, Dinger, Fights, Nostra, Digo Sweef, Fireboy, Devs, Andrew Gill, and two very beautiful names, Tactical Obsession and The Scout. So I hope they're very good with tactics and scouting. And I put as new user of the week Mansour, who's from Senegal, and we had him on the stream. You gave him a shout out on the stream, so it's great to see a user from Senegal. I think the first user maybe even from Africa we have seen in MFL. So it's great we're going a bit more global. Then active managers, bulk buying. We saw Jack Daniels, Make Fink, Larui, Pat, Todi, or how did you pronounce it? Todi or Toddy?
I think it's Toddy, yeah.
Toddy or Toddy, yeah, Toddy. Naskov and Josette. Some people who bought a lot of rare players is Armenia, Japan. I saw quite a lot. Also Hugo D, Sam 100 had a nice rare splash. He paid $350 USD for an 81 rare. Legendary players have been very active this week. So Bitsurdamas got an 85 for 400 USD. Scotto an 85 for 525 USD. And Brandon an 85 overall for 525. Also, then Laro, a name we don't see a lot, but he bought two legendaries for 600 USD. And he only has a bronze club. So will he stack that bronze club with two legendaries? Is the big question. Klo bought an 85 for 600. Sturge an 86 for 750. Basil an 86 for 750. Niako an 85 for 800. And Kinshu an 87 for 850. And then we also have the splash coming up with another legendary. About clubs, Make Fink, of course, bought more clubs. He got some ice clubs there. Volrak, Fryman, Alexis, Noisar, Grid, Glisgot. Trusser Process got another stone. So Simon 64 and Palmer got another iron. Palmer got Birmingham, which he was very happy with, I saw. Garen got Bucharest bronze, Ancient Tokyo bronze, and the biggest club purchase was Hugo D, who got Silver Cairo for 330. So it makes sense he was buying those rare players before. So great, lot of activity. And then Jimbo, who is our trade and splash of the week?
So I think trade of the week, we've probably got to give it to Ronan and Joe B. So Joe B got, well, it's kind of a trade. It's sort of, I think it's an off MFL purchase, but then traded over. So maybe we don't classify it as an actual trade. But it was 92 rated Alexandra Weiss, who Joe B has now got. And I think, according to some messages in the Discord, it might have been around like the 3,000 mark. I don't know if it's a straight swap, trade, crypto, fiat purchase, whatever, or trade, which either way, Joe B every off-season now is, sound like a American than off-season, pre-season, is building his squad completely. But there's also another nice one I'll actually out is Palmer as well. So he grabbed himself an 86 rated legendary player in the drop on Thursday, and he did a swap with Ronan, where Ronan gets the 86 rated legendary, and then Palmer grabs himself an Iron Club, and then I'm trying to count
5 rares.
Five rares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 uncommons and a common. So I think that's
and an Iron Club, by the way.
And an Iron Club, yeah, called Stag Party, which is just going to try and bulk out squads. That's a really nice swap. Got his legendary, which was mega happy with, and he showed on stream, and then he swaps it. Basically, does the right thing and probably swaps it out for like loads of players to bulk out his agency. But you mentioned a load of legendaries there, Calva, but there was one legendary purchase, which was the biggest one. And that is our splash of the week. Kinju. $1,125 on this player. Leandro Toledo. 89 rated, 20-year-old CDM centre mid. Very nice player. 84 passing, 85 dribbling. But as a CDM, you want the high defence and the high physical. 93 defending, 89 physical. Bought him off something balling. I think it was literally a couple of hours ago or like earlier on this morning. Yeah, $1,125. Huge splash of the week. And I think in total we had, I can't be, you probably said it, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 legendaries being purchased. Yeah, 11, which is great to see, ranging from 400 to 1125. So big splash, big trades. It's what we expect in pre-season when there's a drop.
Yeah, it's really amazing, the market activity. Tingus, were you active after the drop also? Are you building something?
Yeah, I had to improve my team. Like some recards had to be improved after the last season. I've seen a lot of like positions that that I had to put money into, and we got like 6 new players with a total of, I don't know, 800 euros probably. But it is, very, very. So I plan the development of the team for many seasons ahead. I can't go and buy like legendaries, the entire legendary team now, because I don't have anything to write about, to create content about next season. So we just have to keep it a bit,
okay,
slower.
Slowly building.
Yeah. It's a slow roll for me.
That's great. Like slow and steady, and then you have more time to really see.
But from this year, I'm gonna go for the league title because I'm sorry, but yeah, I got a lot of MFL points now, and I will have more. But so, I mean, I can work on some of the vanity, if because this is not considered a bad thing in real life football. this is actually considered a thing of honor, probably, to go for the title instead of trying to win as much money as possible. So this is, and while we have this alpha seasons, it's a great opportunity to like just try it, you know?
Yes. Now, I think actually the majority of players we've talked a lot about being like stacking teams, right? And stone teams being stacked. And I think more than 50%, I think their mindset is way more about winning silverware than maximizing MFL points. Or at least half, like for some teams, just maximize your team strength to get the title, while you could maximize MFL points by loading them out.
I'm not sure we mentioned it either, but the rewards have been revamped to lean more towards leagues now as well.
Yeah, that's true, and that aligns with what I wanted to do actually. So I'm happy about MFL doing that decision because, it was unbalanced. Okay, with the cup being more rewarding than the league. And you don't get the much stronger opponents in the cup too, because in the Elites Cup it was okay. It was you could fight with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think this is much better. Like in real life, the league is the most prestigious thing.
Right.
Also. So it should be in the metaverse too. So good revamp there of the rewards. Okay, I think we can be very brief about Dirk. How Dirk, he played one game in the final group game of Euro. Netherlands-Austria, Netherlands won 2-1. And Dirk actually got an 8.2, so he played very well. No assists, no goals, 1 yellow. So with a yellow to score still an 8.2 means he's been very active, I guess. On the midfield, winning balls, giving maybe pre-assists or important passes.
Creating a lot of chances that just haven't been converted. Yeah,
so if you get a yellow and an 8.2 with no goals, no assists, means you've done an amazing job on the midfield, I reckon.
Yeah, he created 6 chances that game. 6 chances. That's a lot. Eight successful crosses. Yeah, and he won 12 defensive duels as well.
So he is personally responsible for... Netherlands had to win that game also. If they lost, they were out, I think, based on... So maybe Dirk has made sure Netherlands progressed to the round of 16.
Yeah.
All right, so let's not talk too much about Dirk. Only one game. Maybe next week again, how he did in the round of 16 and quarters. Now, we have a guest again. So after 5 episodes without any updates to the chocolate bar top 3, I think it's high time to update it. So maybe, Jimbo, what is our top 3? And then Tingus, you can add your, I would say, special bar.
Special bar, yeah. I'm looking forward to this bar. I think the audience can look forward to this one as well. So, our top 3, I'll start at third. Number 3, Cadbury's Marvellous Creations. Number 2, a Twix Peanut. And then number 1, which was suggested or put into this ranking by in Brandon, when we last had him on the podcast, was the 100 Grand Bar. So I'm sure, Pingus, you know the drill. You get to swap one of those 3 with a chocolate bar of your choice. So what chocolate bar is it going to be? And is it going to go first, second, or third?
It's gonna be third because it's not really a chocolate bar. I had a discussion with my wife about the chocolate in Latvia. So yeah, we decided we need to go with this one because it's kind of a strange thing. This is a chocolate bar that is made of cow blood protein. It's called hematogen, which sounds like mutagen from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something. But it is considered a healthy bar in Latvia that gives you a lot of iron. So yeah, I'm gonna put it on third place because it's half chocolate, half blood.
I've never heard of a chocolate bar to have blood in it, albeit there probably are chocolate bars out there which have a tiny bit, what ingredients are like these days.
But this is not blood, it's like blood protein inside. It's like blood protein. So it's not like we're vampires here. It's Romania. It's a different country.
Yeah. One of its main ingredients is black food albumin, a technical term for cow's blood.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very interesting.
I'm not lying.
It's very interesting.
It says it can be used to treat or prevent low blood levels of iron and vitamin B12.
It contains a lot of iron. Like if you want to become an Iron Man someday, you got to eat it every morning. But it's actually quite good. They have versions with like chocolate inside, with some seeds or nuts, And if you're not into blood, then you can choose another type of it. No, I'm not
something different. I like it. Something different. I like it.
It's almost like meeting us in the middle. It's like the veggies are healthy and the bars are usually unhealthy, and this is in the middle.
Yeah, I was in Scotland once, and they use this. They did you heard of like deep fried Mars bars?
Deep fried Mars bar. Yeah.
This is a crazy thing.
I've never tried it.
I'm not into the sweets a lot. I'm like, I believe that food should bring you pain. So I'm a chili head. So I like chili peppers a lot. But, it's not very healthy for your stomach. So you got to, take it small bites and pieces.
So they should.
I'll just elaborate a bit, because when you feel pain, you feel alive. That's my.
When you feel pain, you feel alive.
No, sometimes.
So some more wisdom,
Tingus quote.
More wisdom on the pot. But I really like this bar, and I'm curious how long it will survive in the top 3.
I can send you one. You will try it. I ate one week ago. That's why I actually remembered about this. But it was okay.
Well, if we could eat it on the next stream, that would be fun.
Right.
At the same time. Okay. Well, actually, I also wrote down beer top 3 because in general there was a whole beer discussion. I saw Jimbo, you were offending some beer lovers there with
but
beer.
I'm not a massive beer drinker though. I just drink cider, and then because it's cherry beer, it's got quite a nice sweet taste to it. So that's why I like it.
Yeah. Well, it could be.
I'm a hard cider man.
Maybe when we say, let's say, episode 50, that's like season 1 of the pod finished, and then we move on to.
Bloody hell, 50 episodes in season 1.
Well, it's like a year, and then second year we do beer top 3. Yeah. Maybe if people have any suggestions,
yearly top 3s, yearly top 3s.
Let us know.
Finally, I'm a big alcohol fan, but I'm not consuming alcohol for like 1.5 years now. But I loved it. My favorites are the whiskey, of course. The beer is awesome. It's like when you're watching football or any other sports, you can't like. This is the best invention. For a football fan after MFL, probably,
Yes.
Yeah, I'll drink beer with the football, and then when I'm not watching the football, I'll have a cider.
Right. Yeah.
That's my strategy when it comes to alcohol.
So, let us know, guys, on Discord, if you want to see the top 3 after, let's say, the year 2 of One Dirk. Yeah. Finally, thing is very short. Any veggie shout out? You're gonna barbecue. What would you put on the barbecue? Any veggie? Or just chicken?
Veggie.
Or only chicken?
No,
carnivore?
I'm not gonna use veggie. Maybe onion. No, I'm not a vegetable like type of man or guy, or I don't know. I don't like it. Okay. This is just too green for me.
Good. So we stick to.
I'm old. I'm kind of. This year I'm 38 years old, and I have to care about my health a little bit more, but I don't give an F. I'm sorry.
Say it how it is.
So let's start with the main segment. Of course, you've heard a lot already from Tingus, but now let's properly meet the manager. And we always start with the same question. It's, what's your MFL story? So how did you find out about MFL? When did you join? Why did you join? What attracted you to the project, etc.? So what is your story?
All right. My story is I've been following Futium for like 2 years. Then one of the Futium clubs was very cheap. I bought it, played like 2-3 weeks, figured out it's not a game. Because, actually, I played like 10 matches and every opponent was AI opponent, like not a real person. So I don't want to talk about it too much because I haven't really finished the first season even. But then I figured MFL is a thing. And once I joined it, I understood that's a fantastic match for what I want to do and for my experience, because I spent like thousands of hours in Football Manager games. I probably played like 2,000 tournaments in daily fantasy sports. I used to play FPL, but I never finished one season because, I'm bad at FPL and like playing for the entire season. But yeah, I used to work in the fantasy sports industry too. Yeah, that's how I came here. This is amazing game. That's just in Football Manager. You got to agree it's a single player experience most of the times. Nobody is playing it online because it's hard. It's, hard to manage. But here we got that social aspect that will make it wonderful thing in like very, very soon. So I've been working in a startup environment for the last 10 years. And what I do with the help of artificial intelligence and the tools that are, just not a year, just 6 months ago, we had nothing like that. And now I can basically put my ideas and the robot do this. And that's what I was doing before. I was writing prompts to people. Now I do it for the computer, and he is better at understanding it in some way, So in MFL, I want to build something St. Pauli maybe, but St. Pauli Vice or Wrexham type of thing with replicated in the web. But if you know St. Pauli, it's a club. It's a football club for people who don't have their own local football club. It's like for everybody, for the outsiders, So being in Latvia, I lived here almost all my life, and we had no local football at all, and we're good. Top team here has 500 visitors for their best game, which is nothing. But we used to be a part of the Euros 2006, I guess. But okay, when you don't watch something here locally,
so it kind of substitutes for that.
Yeah,
experience.
You got to do this.
Okay, so to recap, you kind of found out you were Fujian first, and then you on Twitter, I guess, you found out about MFL, and it was
so scary to put the first content that I did online because I'm a perfectionist, so I wanted it to be picture perfect. But then when I started to put online, I see likes coming. Because, I have to make a confession. I'm a junkie. And my drug is your likes that you put on the content of Samprahar's Twitter posts. So if you want me to feel a little bit better during the day, just go and put one like, and it's, come on, it's gonna be a better day for me. So yeah, I was first putting online some stuff and just seeing how it goes, and it is amazing. We went, since mid-April, we went from 0 followers to 750 followers, and I'm gonna reach, I'm not saying I'm gonna reach 2,000 followers season 07, but this is my plan. This is what I want to do, because,
Awesome. Yeah, so, you're very active with this, and I think most of us have seen all those amazing posts from you. So could you tell us also, for people who like to do the same for their clubs, how do you...
I can get you a list of software that I use to create the content. This is a lot of artificial intelligence generation, but it comes out from what I did in the past. Because my career is I work 15 years in content. I did print magazines too, but this market died like 5 years ago because nobody needs that anymore. You just don't get the same feedback as a marketing guy from the print magazine advertising because you don't. It's not digital. So I went to digital marketing 15 years ago, and that's basically what I do to feed my family. And this is a little hobby that I'm trying to make as real as a real soccer club as possible. I mean, to look like as a real soccer club, to operate like a real soccer club. And it's not a content, because I launched a DAO in a stealth mode, like a decentralized organization, if you know what it is. It's like about selling shares. I'm not gonna sell anything yet. It's just for friends and family, and it's not for them yet. But someday I feel I might need to get some more money to create more cool content. That's not about investing into the players or something, but it's a thing that I will have to do someday.
Awesome. I can't wait what you're gonna pump out more, what kind of content. And also I made a quiz question about this. Like, you made for one of your players, you made a Twitter account.
It's a test. In digital marketing, do a lot of hypotheses, a lot of things you just test. Because I once I did some post with a beautiful girl, nobody liked it, so I'm not doing posts with beautiful girls anymore. Okay, and this AI persona, Yutaka Takaziwa, I guess Bartoshik as well. So maybe it's gonna be something, because I actually had like I think 4 or 5 stone clubs before, but I shrink them to iron club from Brazil that I want to make local, like in Brazilian Portuguese. The content on Twitter is gonna be Brazilian Portuguese.
Oh wow!
So it's gonna be replicated from the what we do with Sombra Heart, and if it goes well, maybe it's something that we can do too. Like, having a satellite is an in-game advantage, but we can create some more cool content, because I'm not. I want to create more. I'm stopping myself, because when I look at Buffer, there is a lot of data you can get from it. It's like software to manage Twitter accounts. But and it says it's 1 post per day you should do. But I cannot. I have so many ideas. I have to put 3 or 4 or 5.
It's hard to stick to that.
So so Belém, it's gonna be a new Sombra Hearts, but in Brazil.
And now the app is in Portuguese too, so maybe you can also.
That was my idea. I was actually looking for a Turkish club, but then it just appeared on the market that I had to go for this. This is not a bad market too, Brazil, right? It's 200 million people.
It's a huge market, huge, and they love football. Brazil is addicted to football.
They kind of love football.
Yeah, well, it's an amazing market to tap into. So really curious, and if you can use that hype to build out this new team,
indeed,
new content,
that's just cool. Something I want to try, because I want to maybe put some more energy into doing this artificial intelligence personas. For players, but so far I need to put it on pause, because there is a lot of plans for Sombra Hearts. Like, we're releasing a new video next Monday, I think, because we record. You heard it, Kalf, I think. I heard
some
anthem we did.
The song, yes.
Yeah, the anthem. But this is the song was cool, so I decided I'll do a promo video on top of it. So we're gonna drop it Monday, and hopefully I get 20 likes.
So maybe
I'm going for 20 likes.
So will you drop it before the episode drops or after? Or maybe you can coordinate it.
I don't know.
Okay, let's see. So maybe when you're listening, it's already out.
When
so
it's ready, I got to record something to edit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. So a little spoiler. Keep an eye out for this video.
Yeah. I bought a sambrahearts.com domain, but I thought about launching a website for the club, but I'm just don't have enough energy to pull the entire content on my own. But someday it is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So slowly building
Lots of
that
exciting stuff
Yeah,
in the pipeline.
presence.
There,
Yeah. So let's talk about the game itself, about MFL itself.
Right.
So a bit less. So what is your strategy or approach? You mentioned before you were like putting a lot of energy in the cup because it was a lot of points. So how do you approach the game, and what's been your recent experiences like? Maybe tactics or with formations, or just what can you tell us?
I think I'm getting more understanding of it, but this is not my strongest point. I played a lot Football Manager, but also I cheated a lot with saves. Okay, I've been reloading a lot to have good results. So for me, it's I like to build teams from ground up, but I'm not an expert. Okay, you started your podcast with a suggestion to hire a director of metaverse football, but this is actually a thing, because someday I will have to delegate this, because someday I will not be smart enough to control or to manage the team. That's why I worked with Palmer and Czech Republic, for example, because I had to get at least some proofs of what I think is correct or not. Because, I mean, if I'll get a chance to hire an assistant manager for Samber Hearts for the next season, MFL, USD, Euros, or players paid, I'm getting it. Because, I got to delegate some functions to be able to focus on other things. But what I found great about MFL is it's deep enough to not only create content about XG, about shots, about this deep metrics of football, but also you can get that edge on your opponent just by digging into that data. So for me, it's a big thing that they're adding this new formations, new strategies, and so on. And when the player hate is also a thing, it's gonna add a new layer to the game. And the more data we get from the game, the more that edge is gonna develop. So I'm not, I can't tell you the strategy I'm gonna use for Samber Hearts for season 07 because it's a big experiment for me. But I improved a lot. The team had improved a lot since the last season. So this season we're just putting it all into the vanity, into winning the league.
So you're really hoping for this feature that you can delegate club management?
Well,
maybe.
this feature, we already have it. This feature is what we use to manage our teams for Europe.
The national, yeah. So they could
it's
technically.
It's just a question of scaling that feature to the management. It's some people own like 40 clubs, and they need it for the different reasons. But I need it for this reason too, because I need a smarter person in football management than me, because that's not my strongest point. I can learn it, but it takes time.
Yeah, so you rather do all the content and someone else can make it work.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not fun. It's extremely fun, but also I'm an ice hockey fan for 32 years. I'm very deep into ice hockey analytics, and some of the things I used to know about ice hockey analytics is something you can replicate in the modeling of football data and football predictions as well. Because at the moment, we don't even have a tool to define the price of MFL player. It's okay. We got mflplayer.info, but it's very, very baseline. I mean, we don't know what the price of a player right now is. So I got to put some time into that as well, into modeling, because I got to understand how much money I got invested. Is it 5,000, 10,000 or something? Last year, I tried to figure it, the price of my lineup in Silver Division, it was around 3,000 euros. So I was, according to MFLplayer.info.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Yeah, well, you can always check like the floor price on the market, right? So you can view your
Yeah, you can,
minimum
but-
of floor.
But the floor price itself isn't really. You can't use floor price for prices because that's just what someone's asking for.
Well, I keep kind of an Excel also, just where I
Yeah.
assume I just regularly update, like, I think based on my feeling of the market, this is what I would list it
Yeah,
for and what it would sell
That is,
for.
yeah, that's the best way.
And
to do
that is
it,
what
yeah.
what I do.
To just predict your own pricing for the player you would let it go for.
Yeah, exactly. And I think then can you say that your lineup is worth this based on what I would let it go
Right.
for.
Yes.
That's the market. Well, maybe later I put a little Dirk dilemma for overpriced, underpriced. We could maybe dive into that. Maybe another question. So we've talked about this feature of delegating teams. What would be your dream feature to add to MFL? Or what would you prioritize right now to put all the energy in?
Yeah, for my dream feature, like right now, my dream feature is for MFL to allow me to build a data center for Sambre Hearts so I can get data on X assists or some more data that I can use to leverage, the knowledge about mathematics and algorithms into the game. Because, we have a lot of data right now, but I feel that that can be improved. But all the things that are coming, like stadiums, academies, and things like that's gonna be awesome. And everybody is waiting for the player progression, of course.
Yeah. Hopefully, I was actually, I think there was a couple of chats about that last night in the Discord, and I think Luke, did I I always try and screenshot these conversations because I never come back to them and read them. I think it's going about live when like progression will be, or either when the full season will be live, and Lucas put something like definitely before the end of the year, like in a couple of seasons. So you never know. I'm not sure if that was referring just to
My
progression,
prediction
but
is
yeah.
The progression is probably gonna be live before season 1.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be. Yeah,
Yeah,
it has to be
yes.
live for season 1. Yeah, because
testing.
we'll get a season. We'll get a season of progression as like a test, and then it will get reversed back again. And then we'll
Right,
go.
and like it's already like backend is done, front end is done, and staging environment is like basically they're testing it. Now, it can go live season 07. I mean, remember, did we expect it for the Euros to be a thing? No. But they just
The
Here
team
you go.
can be like this. So Jax can be like this to just boom, put it there. But I think definitely 0.8. Some people say we're now 0.7 and 0.8, 0. So it would be perfect if that is like then 1. But I think Matt also said it could be 0.8 full 1, can be after 1 even. So yeah, the team that Matt also said in general, like they prefer to do it very well, and then when they feel they're ready, they're ready. So it depends on testing. And
But the quality, I mean, team is
Yeah.
awesome. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh,
I
definitely.
haven't heard or seen, like, okay, I'm a big... last time I was similarly hyped when I figured there is a thing called Sorer 4 years ago.
Good old Sorare.
But this is just a different thing. MFL has a chance to be much bigger than Sorer, what I think.
definitely.
It is. And it's we're talking a company of 4 billion valuation. Yeah. But let's just wait for the season 1 to start, and then we have the real game. It feels like more or less like play money poker right now. So,
But
yeah.
that's the
it's
good
not
thing,
for you.
right? They're not setting their eyes on that.
Yeah, we can prepare our
They
clothes.
just take it. each step at a time and then see organically grow it, not like push it too hard or oversupply. And that's really,
and they've always said when it comes to like pushing it really hard, they want to have a proper product first, where the proper product you'd argue is, what you'd say is the season one, where pro relegation,
yes,
progression, that's all implemented, and then you've got something to actually, substantial to go at people with for a product.
When is gonna be the next sports release? And what is gonna be? Because I actually started my management career from the game called Pop Mundo, which is a game where you kind of manage a musical band, and I figured it's still a thing, but yeah, they're kind of teasing Nets, so it's a.
I think it's a bit. I don't know. Is the public secret, Jimbo? Would you say it's a public secret which sport it is, or is it still?
I think a lot of people know who it is. I think people can guess what it is quite well.
Hoops, basketball.
Yeah, I think that's our understanding as well. That's what we think it is.
Although Ballers has also been like kind of revived.
Yeah, they've been reborn and reborn. So I think it's, you've got the Ballers, you've got Top Shot. If you want to pull on that,
but I still think it would work with the UI and the graphics and the whole setup.
The thing about Top Shot and the difference of Top Shot with the MFL is that Top Shot is a collectible. I like collectibles. I'm a fan of sports trading cards too. I got many sports trading cards, and my previous entrepreneurship idea was to start a sports trading card store here in Latvia, but it's not, we don't have such culture here. So I closed it in a month probably, because it was like a lean startup methodology for me, and I just wanted to try if it's good, it's not. But MFL is a different thing. It's a game. And it's a game first of all. Yeah. But then,
No, definitely. Actually, before MFL, I was first with this whole FIFA Collect. And then I was also like, okay, it's good hype with the World Cup. But it's just so boring to just hold a moment and not do anything.
Okay.
It's like, what can you do with them?
Like reward them? And...
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Why would I pay money for that?
Sure.
Like, almost. Okay. A couple of, I have like 2 written down, and we can do some Dirk dilemmas. Maybe let's do the guest question. So our last guest in the studio was Brandon, and his question was, do you prefer smaller or larger squad sizes? So between 18 and 25, how many people are in your squad usually?
This season, I'm going to be 23 people in the squad, because we have this new mid-season transfer window. So last year, I had a lot of a player on the bench that I was planning to use in some specific matches that would go for defense only. This year I'm not gonna put that much effort into the cup, so I'm going for 23 people squad only, and maybe I need some improvements later on. But in general, I prefer smaller things than larger things. And I would go the 20 player lineup is the optimal one for me.
I think the optimal is 25.
25.
Because the optimal is just have the most, right? Because you've got the biggest choice.
But sometimes you've got to choose between 2 players, and the less players you have, the less choices you have. Okay, so I'm not going to, this game, one season is only like 20 matches. This is not a big volume of matches.
It'll be 22 now, won't it?
22 now, okay.
22 next season.
In baseball, they play like 182 matches just the regular season.
They just swing a ball. They just swing
they
just swing a bat.
Okay, I'm not a baseball fan. I know about sports, and the more data I have about something, the more weighted decisions I can make about something.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So, yeah, and the less squad the less player squad I have, the easier my decisions are. And as I said before, I'm getting someone to delegate the team management to, or one of my teams to, at least. I don't want to focus on, choosing if I want to go 87 rated player or like 86 rated player, because I also see on the market that the margin between a player ranked 84 overall and 85 overall that makes him a Lego is huge. But is it huge in game? As it is for the, for paying for the different color of the...
We've debated that a lot on it.
Overall, it's not everything.
Yeah,
We're talking about that.
Yeah. It's that gap has got smaller over the last couple of months, I will admit. The gap has got smaller, but beginning of the year, January, there was a massive gap between
I've seen it.
The high rares and the low legendaries, but it has shrunk in the last couple of months, but it's still quite big.
Yes, because the market is starting to understand there is not big difference in that. But last year I went full 25 player squad. I'll try something different this year. That's just, that's what alpha seasons are for. To try to put as much questions into the game and get as much replies as possible.
I think I prefer to keep it way more lean, especially the gold. My gold and silver club are maybe 18, 19 players, because if I don't use a player there, you're also wasting a lot of NFL.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you could be earning 4% in another club with that rare, and if you don't use it, it's just a big waste of points. I mean, maybe in iron or stone, it's way less of a waste.
Just loan him out. Or...
if I don't use it, I usually have this, what I said before in the pod, this continuous rotation. Like anyone turns a little lighter green, swap him out, and I have like 3 players for 2 positions usually with the information. Keep rotating it constantly, and then you only need 18 players.
Actually, I watched
19.
your video with energy
rotation.
Energy strategies. But my energy strategy for the previous season was like I gonna have completely different team that is only gonna play this energy saving games, and it's gonna be like 5 defenders because I want to save energy, and it's not gonna be a good team, and I have to put it on the defense, mode. But I'm not gonna use it. It was a mistake.
Okay, so no full rotation to have a much weaker.
Year, I got very, very different players, so I got like 2 formations with different players in, and I'm gonna play 2 different formations the entire season. I'm gonna rotate the formations, not the players.
Okay. Let's see how it goes. So, do you have a question for our next guest? Did you think of one?
Yes. Should I voice it now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Please do you ever pick a player on the market by his look?
Nice one.
Because I do.
You do. Well, you like the visuals. You like to visualize him in your content, so it makes sense.
It's not about it's about if I'm gonna be able to explain to AI that why this player has blue hair, for example, because it's not everything that AI can generate now, and he doesn't understand some of the things that are in the MFL.
Yeah. Well, I packed this guy on stream with the glasses.
The Edgar Davids
wow!
The Edgar Davids glasses.
Is it a Brazilian
that's
guy?
Nice. He's Portuguese.
Right. I've seen some very, very cool Brazilian with this sunglasses.
The glasses. Yeah, I think it's only 0.1 or something.
Yeah,
it's a pretty rare trait to have the glasses. But that's really cool. I don't do it myself, but I can imagine I don't know which manager who buys by the shirts also. Like they had all the same shirts. I think it was Stagana or someone who had all yellow shirts.
Team called something Man-Bun with...
Also Man-Bun, yeah.
You've got Duff's Mohawk side, haven't you?
Mohawks.
Yeah. There are a few people on the top of my head who definitely do purchase based on looks.
So I did prepare for this episode also a couple of small Dirk dilemmas, and we're gonna do again overpriced, underpriced. There's been some discussion lately, well, quite a lot about pack prices, which went up. So maybe let's have a little debate about that. The first, so about you guys say, so Tingus and Jimbo, if you think it's overpriced, underpriced, and why. So first, legendary packs for 600 USD, overpriced, underpriced.
600. I'm gonna go with. I love to sit on the fence and love to just say like, oh, correctly priced.
You have to say under over.
Let's go. I'm gonna go slightly over. I'm gonna go slightly over. So I'm gonna say slightly over.
Why?
Why? I'm trying to grab up data at the same time here to justify this, but I think legendary pack is a good point now where you can pack an 85, 86 and probably get less than what you paid for. And there needs to be that element of risk when it comes to, you can't always flip and rip and flip, or rip and get a profit sort of thing. So the fact that we're now at a point where there is a little bit of risk, but everyone takes that risk because if you get 88, 89 above, you've easily made at least 600. So I think I want to say it's correctly priced, but maybe slightly what did I say again? Slightly under.
I think you said slightly over.
Sorry, slightly overpriced.
Yeah. Well, you get a rare, which can also easily turn into.
True. I always forget this. I always forget that the pack includes more than one player. That sounds so dumb for someone who's been in the game for nearly 3 years. Oh, is it 3 years now? It might be 3 years actually.
Almost approaching.
Maybe you're right there. Maybe it's slightly under. Oh, mate, I don't.
Okay. Well, let's say Tingus, and then you can come back to Tingus. What do you think? Over, under?
I think it's $1 overpriced because it has to be $5.99. According to the marketing.
Okay. I was too lazy.
Thing actually working. Like, also, you can call it super legendary pack, and then it will be sold in second. But in terms of actual value inside, I think it's underpriced because if we're gonna talk about all the packs, I'm gonna go to buy only the uncommons because I wanna decrease the variance of the of the luck. I am very unlucky person, so I'm not gonna spend 600 to give it a chance to flip a coin. Yeah. So I'm rather gonna buy 20 uncommon packs than one legendary pack because, well, it gives me more chance to even out the luck. But overall, if I would not be sleeping when the drops are on, I would therefore get any pack available.
Okay. So a bit under still. Then.
$1, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Or I don't know.
Yeah, well, technically, okay. I'm a bit lazy. It was, of course, it's $5.99, but it's like 600, right? But I would say, you need to have that element of risk. That's why it's a pack, right? You need to have the element of risk. And you could easily have a rare around 100, and legendary floor, I would say, is also 500. So I think now 90% of the time you make your money's worth. So that risk could be
for sure,
a bit increased.
Can I add one thing? It's a question of liquidity as well, because it's much harder to sell a Lego than to sell an uncommon. And selling 20 uncommons, maybe it's 2 weeks time. Selling a Lego can take a month. I'm not sure about the math of this. It's just my assumptions, but it feels like it.
Yeah, no, you're also right in that.
It depends on the time of year as well. Like right now, between seasons, I think you can sell a legendary quite quickly when there's no games on. When there's games on, that's when it gets extremely tough because no one wants to buy anything. Then people want to buy stuff. I think the pack is. I really want to say correctly priced because floor for legendary at the moment is 500. According to my little data piece, the average rare at the moment goes for about 120, 530. So you probably make your money back most of the time. Maybe it's slightly underpriced then. Maybe we need to increase it by another 75 or so.
Let's say that.
You know what I think? If you're discussing this, that long time for that, 10 minutes or something, it's an okay price. I mean, it's gives a thought, but
that's what I want to say. Yeah, I think it's fairly priced. Yeah,
and also
I think anyone would buy it. Yeah,
it sold out again within 20 seconds or something. So
I was so surprised. So when I woke up, there was some standard packs available this time. Everything was sold out like in minutes last time.
Yeah, so even with those increased prices. Okay, let's move from players to clubs. So Iron clubs, I think I checked the floor today, is like 110 USD, while Ice Club pack is 80. So what do we think about Iron Club 110 over under?
Extremely underpriced. That's why I got one. I see golden iron right now.
Under? Okay, extremely under, Jimbo.
It's definitely under, but when you buy like a lower league club, it's all about what you put in it. Like, you could stone or iron's probably undervalued, maybe probably about like $30 or so. Like what, 140, 150? That's probably a comfortable range. Like double the price pack, maybe 160. I think is a fair value. But then again, if we get 500 players come in, then suddenly that probably spikes massively because it's the best way to jump into different parts of the pyramid. But I think it's I think it's undervalued.
Yeah,
underpriced. Sorry.
And clubs are the ones earning the points, and now we have and ice and stone beneath it. I'm really surprised by the club market at the moment. Like, some people buy an $80 pack, ice, sell it for 65. Some people are still selling stone then below that, 75. I saw lowest today. And then
at
iron
moment,
is just slightly higher.
You've also got the kickoff pack contents as well.
Yeah. That's because of the promotion.
So if someone might sell it for like $5-10 less, they may have made that difference up.
Maybe, yeah.
On the players, yes.
And people are picky with locations, right? We know that. People are like, true. I constantly search that marketplace if that other Norwich club gets dropped. If it gets put on the market, I'm going to buy it straight away. I probably won't use it. I'll give it to someone else who is a Norwich fan. But I want that other Norwich club being in Norwich hands.
If anybody got Jablonec from Czech Republic, I want one too, because one of my friends is actually chairman of in real life club there. Yeah. So.
Oh, nice. I almost was there last summer. In Liberec, I was. It's next to it, Liberec, Jablonec. But okay, I think in general, clubs are the ones that are making the money, right? And they have the power to hire players. So I think in general, it's great assets to have. And also later, if you can start out in iron already instead of stone or ice, without a promotion, it saves you time. And I think it's definitely... So I agree with Tingus here, and with you, Jimbo, it's like underpriced, the iron, I would say. Okay, maybe one more is the uncommons on the marketplace. So we've seen a huge push upwards in price. I think now the uncommon floor is it used to be maybe $8, $7 some moment, and now it's approaching 20, I would say. What do you think of that? Are uncommons now under?
To give some more data-driven explanation to that as well. So back like January time, the average daily sale of an uncommon was about $15, and now we're talking at about 34, 33. So we've almost
crazy.
More than doubled in daily sale. And like Tinga said, there's a huge liquidity in uncommon. So they sell like hot potato. They sell like Taylor Swift tickets, these uncommons at the moment. They go so quickly. I think we even saw, was it a 73 rated go for like there was one crazy sale yesterday.
Yeah, like $90 almost.
Yeah, like $90 like a 73, 74 rated. And I was like, oh my word. I think the low rated uncommons are overpriced. I think that uncommons at the moment are slightly overpriced. I don't know. I think maybe that's just like historic bias where we've seen such low, but at the moment that price is the price. We've been above a daily sale of average daily sale of $30 for the last 2 months now. So maybe it is just the new norm. Maybe it's the new norm. Maybe we are. Maybe the market has found its place, and I still think it's slightly overvalued. uncommons.
Well, it's more. I think it's more because we're so used for like 1.5 years to have those pretty lower uncommon prices and common too. But okay, Tingus, final thing. What do you think?
I think they are quite fairly priced because we have Ice Division now, and there is gonna be a lot of ambitious managers down there who will want uncommons in their teams, and we've seen a lot of good stone teams that are stacked with good players, and this is the biggest population of clubs in Ice and Stone, and the uncommons are going there most of the times, probably. So yeah, I think they should be even higher in a year. Not in a year, but in the MFL year.
In MFL year.
In MFL year.
Season.
Not
season.
Martian, not
Okay.
Earth year.
Okay. Yes.
But
All right. Now I think that was certainly.
It's a good movement overall. Like it's logical that we got more people wanting more good players, and they cost more. It's like that. Fuel costs more now because we have 8 billion people on the Earth.
Basic economics, I would say.
And because some people don't like to supply much to the rest of the world, as well, like the Middle East and places like that. It's a supply and demand piece. It's a supply and demand piece, though, right? That's where stuff comes from, right?
Yeah, and for me, for example, I'm very reluctant seller. I get like DMs like, "Can I buy this guy?" And it really needs to be a very, very good bid for me. I'm just like emotionally attached. Plus, it's an asset that earns MFL, so I'm very reluctant to sell it.
Fear and greed are the two emotions that run the world. End of. Same in MFL. The greed of money and the fear of selling him for someone who then goes and gets more. That is literally MFL.
Well, and with MFL, you just have like, I this was one of my first guys. I don't want to let him go.
I've definitely got that. I've definitely got that bias.
It's like emotional attachment to those.
Yeah. But we will see, just before we round off, Pingus talking about uncommons going to Ice. I do think with the increase in divisions and the increase in player supply, we will just see like strength creep down the pyramid, where eventually bronze will be like all, silver will be, or silver probably is all rare at the moment anyway, but bronze will become all rare. The more divisions get added, the more players get added. It will just keep creeping. So people, in my opinion, people thinking that Ice will be like low-end commons, I think you're nuts. I think it will be like high-end commons, low-end commons again. Yeah. It will just keep recycling its way down. That's how it will work. So yeah, I agree with you there, Pingus.
All right. I think we're nearing the end of the pod. We only need a little hashtag. Well, I got a proposal for that hashtag. I can plug it right now.
Yeah, go on. You announce. You do the whole piece. Announce the hashtag.
Okay, so the hashtag for this episode is #BloodBar. Because we had a great bar edit, and I think it sounds like a nice alliteration, Blood Bar.
Listen, I promised you a t-shirt, but I will send you a bar.
Okay, Blood Bar.
Bar and a t-shirt, there we go.
Bar and t-shirt. So, #BloodBar, I hope you like my hashtag. So, write it in general to prove that you've been listening to this episode of the Wendourcast.
Maybe give your thoughts on the Blood Bar as well. What are your thoughts on the?
If you would eat it,
the Blood Bar? Has anyone ever had it? Has anyone else also had the Blood Bar, or is it just Tingus Pingus, who's the only Blood Bar consumer in the MFL community? We'll see. But yes, we'll round things up there. First of all, a massive thank you to Tingus Pingus for coming on today's episode. Have you enjoyed yourself? Have you had a good time?
Thanks a lot for having me here, guys. It was awesome. That was actually my first podcast ever. But I don't know, please criticize me as much as possible because I want a lot of things to be improved.
I think it was a man of the match performance in my eyes, and I'm sure Calvo agrees as well. Man of the match performance from you today.
Thank you.
Well, if we could do podcast graphics, we'd do a man of the match performance. But we've not got that template yet. Yes, massive thanks to everyone who joined the stream on Thursday. Obviously, a massive thanks to all of you who listen to these podcasts week in, week out. If you haven't followed, subscribed, reviewed, rated, all that grand stuff, go ahead and do so right now, or you'll have bad luck for the rest of season 0.7. Without further ado, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you this time next week for episode 45 of the Wendourcast. Thank you for listening.